Okay, now we're going to start talking about graphing inequalities. Here we got 4 things that we want to graph right here. So I'm just going to show you how I would graph these situations. Here we want to graph x is greater than or equal to 3. So first, the thing you want to do is you want to find 3. And once you find 3, you're going to put a dot here. But you got to determine, is it going to be an open dot, which means it's not at 3, or a closed dot? Well, you know that by looking at this equal sign on the bottom. Since this x is greater than or equal to 3, equal means it is a closed dot. Okay? And now the question is, which way do you graph? Do you graph going this way, or do you graph going this way? That's the question. Who knows? Well, here's one way. Once you get used to it, you'll probably just know by looking at it. It is to this direction, to the right. But if you're not exactly sure, what you can do is you can pick a point. Let's say pick point 4. Let's see if you got a graph that way. Is 4 greater than or equal to 3? Well, it is true. So since this is greater than or equal to 3, that makes that statement true. You graph over it this way. Okay? So let's do this one. X is less than 1, so we're going to find 1. Now, do we do an open dot or a closed dot? Well, since it's just less than 1, you do an open dot. And we know that x is less than 1. Maybe we're not sure which way to graph. Let's just choose some point on this number line. How about 0? 0 is always easy. Choose 0. Is 0 less than 1? You bet it is. So I would graph this way. Now let's say you're saying, Mr. Benson, hey, what if I chose 2 though? You chose 0 and you knew it was on that side. Well, check this out. If you chose 2 and you put 2 is less than 1, is that true? No, 2 isn't less than 1. So you would know not to graph over this way. You would know to graph the other way. Okay? Now let's do this one. We want to graph x is greater than or equal to -4, but less than or equal to 3. So we're going to find both of these. We know they're equal to, so we know we're going to deal with closed dots. Here's our -4 right there. Here's our +3 right here. Okay? And so now you're just going to choose a point. Let's choose this point. Let's see if this one makes it true. Okay, so -5. So I got -4 is less than or equal to -5, which is less than or equal to 3. Well, this part's true, but this part isn't true. So we know this doesn't work. Okay, so let's pick point 0. So -4 is less than or equal to 0 is less than or equal to 3, right there. 0 is greater than or equal to -4, so that's good, and 0 is less than 3. This is supposed to be 3. That's good. Since it checks off for both of these, we know we shade right in the middle. Check that out. Okay, and the next one we got x is, well, -2 is greater than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 4. Notice these signs kind of flipped around, kind of weird. So we're going to start with a dot at our -2 right here, and we're going to start with another dot at 4 over here. Okay, so let's see. This one's kind of tricky. Okay, it's not an in-betweener. We know that x is less than -2. Well, less is to this direction of that, but it's also less than, x is also less than 4, right? If we read that, x is less than 4 too, so it's going this way as well on that one. So your graph is actually this. It's all going to the left right there, as I see it. Now if you were to change this thing around like that, then it would be going out that direction, but you got 2 lines going this way, so it's really, this is it. This is all of it. And it's a closed dot right there. Okay? So right here, you know, let's take a look at this inequality. We want to determine this inequality now. Is graph for us. Let's go to this direction. What is the inequality? Well, we're starting at 2. Okay? We have an x. So are these values bigger than 2 or less than 2? Well, they're bigger. 4 is bigger than 2. So we know that x is going to be greater than 2. Remember, the alligator likes to eat the biggest thing. In this situation, the x's are the bigger one. Okay? I wonder if that's what I have behind that dot. What do I have behind here? Oh, no, I don't. I should just write it there. Okay, and then let's do this one more. This one right here. So we're going to find the equation for this. So we got x. These values are less than 1. Because these values are less than this value 1, it would be less than or equal to. And the reason it's equal to is because it's a closed dot, right? It's a closed dot. Now I just want to make a note. Solid dots, right? Solid dots like this. You're going to use those when you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Open dots are when you see something like that. Okay? So that is how you can graph these types of inequalities.